Hey, welcome back to day 3 of Minecraft. And you won't believe it, what actually happened earlier today while I was playing, just for a few moments. Um, so I was actually in the process of mining a whole bunch of the stones, right? And really just for the stone wall and stuff like that, fortification-based items. And I was confident about, just coming back, everything being safe inside the house. And as soon as I opened the door, um, there was like three different, three of those different skeletal enemies inside the house. One of them had a sword, another one was an archer, and honestly, there was a bunch of enemies outside as well. So, you know, my initial attempt, right, I instantly just died. And thankfully, I did respawn back in the same place, got all my items, and sort of went on my merry way from there. And honestly, I have no idea how that must have happened because I was actually it was well into the evening. It was not like late night or anything. So I have no idea how that might have happened in game. But because of that, I basically put in some torches to sort of light up the house in case that happens again. Because from what I've read online and from just me learning some of the mechanics behind the game, I have noticed that enemies tend to stay away from these well-lit, houses. And of course, that includes the village that's nearby. So just, thought for food. Um, thought for food. Food for thought. And let's see. Basically, I was in the process of getting some of those stones to increase, our house's fortification. I also had a chance to meet this guy for the first time. Initially, I thought he was sort of a, enemy. But really, he engages in trade. Although I don't really have the necessary items, or rather, he takes emeralds, in exchange for a lot of these other items. Supposedly, this is very interesting, the pumpkin, because supposedly you do need that in order to be able to craft together an iron stone giant, or the golem rather. And of course, that guy can help protect, against those sorts of enemies at night. I think, that's also one of my goals. But as you can see here, for at least from, where I left off last time in the previous episode, I have mined up quite a bit here. I really don't want to take fall damage, but let me see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do. Unless I can go from the back. And of course, minimal fall damage there, but... So I have mined up this area, cleaned it up pretty good. I have noticed that I probably should not mine too deep here because, as you can see, this water has started to flow. And we don't want this to, start flooding underground. So, just gotta be careful there. And provided all of this is a lot of sand too, so it's not really going to do much for us in the long run. Or at least that's my assumption. So really, my day-to-day has been just trying to gather different, stone-based items. Not just from a house fortification standpoint, but I have noticed that every now and then I'll probably score on some of the iron ore as well. Every once in a while, something will end up spawning over there in that dark area. And so, at the same time, while I'm mining, I'll try to make sure that there's enough daylight coming in. But of course, you can never be too sure. And there's plenty of coal here too if you kind of dig deep down. And one more thing I learned about too recently is that up until now, at least for mining through a lot of these stones, I was relying on the wooden pickaxes. And of course, that's not going to do much. It's actually much slower compared to what I have on hand right now, which is about to break, by the way, just from a durability standpoint. But yeah, I feel like I'm learning something new about this game every time I get back into it. And there goes our, stone pickaxe being out of commission there. Might have to go back. This is just a wooden hoe. It's not going to do much. So we do need to return to our home so we can get back to the crafting table. And continue engaging in more of those crafting sessions. You may have noticed that, the house used to be 2 doors, now it's just 1. Well, that was a result of that explosion from before. And I did not bother, adding a secondary door. I feel like that's just another way for the enemies to kind of creep up inside. Okay, so what do we have here? We need a bunch of these. Of course, as many as we can potentially carry. And as you can see, what I've been doing here is just sort of stockpiling on these. I might have a lot more than necessary, honestly. But it's just a part of the process of, trying to get more and more of these guys, really, iron ore. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Okay. Also, this one I keep forgetting about, empty locator map. Is there even a use for this thing? I've never tried to do anything to it. Empty locator map. Okay. So, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be doing. Map 1. So clearly this has to show us what we've seen so far, right? Based on our travels. So not much we can do, from a map standpoint. And these I seem to have acquired a lot of these as well with time. And I think from what I've read, you can use bone meal to sort of speed up the farming process, which we haven't gotten to yet, but eventually will. So let's try to get more of that stone or iron. Actually, never mind. I spoke too soon, it seems. And if the sun is about to go down, there's no point in going back up in the cave. Another thing too that I've learned is if you just sort of plow through a lot of grass, you do end up just like that, getting some seeds every now and then, and that is potentially used for farming. So I have managed to get a lot of those, and as you can see, the house is nicely lit up, at least from the inside. At some point, I would probably want something on the outside too, just to keep a lot of those spider enemies at bay. But at least, the good thing about having a well-lit house is that enemies will probably not enter. Unless I'm proven wrong. Not sure what that noise was. Actually, we have a good bit of iron ore. Maybe it's time to start smelting that. Gunpowder, that's also a new one. Oh, right. And the other thing too that I managed to learn recently is, at least my misconception was that your only source of fuel is probably coal, but it's that's incorrect. You can actually use any sort of wood as well. So if I were to, maybe not the stick, but maybe get one of these, that is more than enough fuel for us to be able to smelt this iron ore. So that's pretty cool because there's plenty of wood out there, so that as a fuel source is, I think, quite abundant. And we seem to have acquired another trophy based off of that. So iron ingots, right? These will definitely be important for us, especially when we're trying to build that stone golem. I suppose we can make a few more, right? And I wonder if the furnaces are also upgradable, kind of like the chests, to get maybe a higher throughput. That's another thing to test potentially in the future. Oh, I forgot that it's the fuel's already there. Since it does last a good bit. That's pretty neat that it does have a timer on that. But it looks like it's not really enough for that last one, see? We might have to... I'm sorry. Incorrect. I just misplaced the item. Let's see if we could get that to smelt before the timer is over. Yeah. Just in time. So let's see. I mean, what can we do with these iron ingots? Can we produce some kind of stone material? Iron trapdoor, that's pretty interesting. And it seems that we can now have some, more armor made available to us. We just don't have enough ingots. So that's pretty neat as well. A lot of stuff you can probably start doing with that upgrade. Stone cutter, bucket. Actually, a bucket is not a bad idea to kind of invest in. Let's get that. So again, all the more reason to invest in iron ore as much as possible. I wonder if clay can be processed sort of in the same way to make other stuff. Well, either way, there's only one way to find out, right? And again, the furnace works in a very basic fashion too. I doubt we'd need the wood and planks. That's just me being more fancier than necessary. Okay, so there we go. That's how we get bricks. But again, clay is going to be very scarce at this point in the game, so I doubt we could, do something as crazy as, um, make a brick house or something. But honestly, instead of wasting planks, I'd probably just prefer to burn raw wood, just the actual logs. All right, so we'll make one more of this and yeah, see if we can do anything with the number of bricks that we have in our possession. All right, so let's see. So brick blocks, right? Kind of the basics. A flower pot. Let's go ahead and make a flower pot. So obviously we don't have flowers at the moment on hand right now. But again, a lot of these things are just used for decorative purposes. Um, but I guess we do have more than enough cobblestone now to kind of turn into um, more of these cobblestone walls. And given that it's getting pretty late, we should probably call it a day now. You can only sleep at night, right? It's just evening. So it's not going to let us do that. Totally makes sense. What else can we make with this time? So a block of coal. Go ahead and make some of these guys. Stone cutter. Fireworks stall. And another thing I wonder about is how long these torches actually last. Apparently it's already morning. I guess we must have, progressed through the night. Gotta watch out for this spider. This guy seems to be pretty close to our house, but of course, he's not really a threat, so. I think now's a better time than ever to kind of start putting this to use. Kind of like that, which unlocked the trophy. Wonder if we can customize this further, but I guess we can't modify it now. Ooh, this guy seems to be... Should I even bother? I can't seem to pick this up, of course. Let's go ahead and drop off. And we're probably going to be in need of another chest soon, I imagine. This white dye. Probably string. Used for maybe some cloth or something, potentially. There we go. see, what else can we do? Let's go ahead and get a ladder. We can get on top of the house and maybe start doing some modifications as to the structure of the house. Is it kind of like that? We still need one more piece. And I think going forward, it's safe to say that whenever, I'm building anything um, near the house, we should probably keep enemies in mind too, right? They should be able to do the same thing I'm doing. And, we do want to sort of prohibit them from breaking into the house. So let's see, do we use cobblestone itself or do we form a cobblestone wall? Well, what does this actually look like? So from a aesthetic standpoint, it doesn't look all too pretty. Go ahead and break this and use the walls instead. And of course, it's gonna take forever for us to hack through. At least we use stone pickaxe. And does going down the ladder work the same way? I guess so. Let's grab a bunch of these guys. I'd say for now I would have more than enough with the amount of cobblestones that we have mined. This guy's super close. Okay. Alright, let's see how this would turn out. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's not really touching the edge, so I don't know, I feel like that would bother me if I had to look at that. Let's try closer to here. No. So, not too bad. I mean, it's not perfect because of that edge problem. I'm not sure why that's a thing, but it makes sense that it's supposed to be a wall. It's not a regular stone like the rest of the textures. But at least it serves as some form of a balcony. Actually, where's the ladder? You want to seal that up, right? This is the ladder. We'll build another one here maybe, and then that's it. So, I don't know. Obviously, it's not perfect. Something to start off with. And of course, at some point, I'll probably want an entrance from the inside to the above. And I'm not sure how locking mechanisms work in this game, but I think that's going to be a possibility as well. I mean, it's not super fancy right now, but again, better than nothing and better than something. There are those pesky skeleton guys. So hopefully they stay away because of the amount of light that we have illuminated inside the house. Stone cutter. This is quite interesting. Go ahead and make that. Eventually, I will probably run out of room in this house, so I wouldn't be surprised if I had to, build more rooms. Whoops. Let's see what this stone cutter is all about. Interesting. What would happen if I... Okay. If I put one of these in there. Okay. Maybe we have to put literally a block of stone instead of these guys. Try some of these. Like that. Oh, okay. So it creates this cobblestone slab. This may be a quick way to get those out there. I'm sure there has to be more of a function than that. Slabs. Maybe this would have looked a lot better, or I think this would be a better approach upstairs rather on the roof. So we'll put those, in the middle of the top side first thing tomorrow. I wonder if this chest can be expanded even further. Is there a limit to these large chests? Let's find out. So maybe one here. What happens if I put another one there? I guess that's probably the limit, is the large chest. I was hoping for an extra large. Oh, okay. Did that just happen? No, it did not. We have one here, and we have another one here. Oh, well, not too bad. since we will need that extra storage very soon. And with that, let's call it a day if we can sleep. And by the way, these torches are still well lit, and that's amazing. My question is that infinite? I'll have to check on that online. So again, all I'm doing now is trying to get more of these slabs to put on, you know, um, on top of the balcony. I would say we need what? Let's get about twice that amount. Oh, okay, it gives a lot more than I had expected. 24 should be more than enough. So with that, let's go ahead. First of all, check for enemies because you never know. Early mornings. And, go up this nice little ladder that we've built for ourselves with the okay looking balcony. And what we can do, start slapping some of these guys on top. Unfortunately, there's going to be this issue here, right? It was kind of odd. That's my only problem with this stuff. Oops. We're going to need a few more, clearly. And I might raise up this wall a little higher as well. It was kind of awkward. Oops. Got to start using, actually using the ladder instead of doing that. This should be more than plenty. How are we looking on slabs? We have plenty. No, actually, we just need quite a few more. Okay. Oops. Silly me. All right, here we go. All right, and there you have it. Definitely better fortification. I think what I'll end up doing is inside the house, maybe getting rid of the wood ceiling and replacing it with stone. Maybe that's a better idea. That'll also get rid of that weird design issue where, you know, we have some wood on the side. Let's kind of test it out, shall we? So is this a question is, do I put in a, you know, a slab or cobblestone itself? Decisions. Well, how does that do? How does that look from the outside? So we replaced, oops. The one here, correct? Or no? Oh, I think I see what the problem is. It's probably because of this guy, right? The sides are still wood. At least the outside. All right, let's just do this. So I assume I'd need to replace that. Kind of like that. So the top will be stone. The middle stuff will be, you know, wood. But it is getting pretty late. We'll fill it up for now. And that's just one of those things with this game. Like, time management is very important with what you do during the day. I mean, only if you're looking at survival mode. I hope that's not a problem, that mini gap there for now. Oh, sounds like... Oh, goodness gracious. The zombie trying to get inside. I hope these guys are not, yeah, not the explosive guys. Alright, let's just do this. Goodness gracious. Maybe get something to eat and then call it a day. Right, that makes sense. You would need multiple of these because a stick is not going to be that much of a fuel source. Oh my gosh, is 3 not enough? Okay, it is. It sure is. All right. Well, there you have it. And after that, ready for the next day. Oh, and that fire guy is outside too. And of course, yeah, that's a threat for wooden homes, isn't that right? Shoot. Thankfully, nothing started burning down. Yikes. Yikes. See, we don't have any more slabs. Oh gosh. Am I putting cobblestone there instead of the... I sure am. Right? No more slabs. All right, so I think we're looking pretty okay now design-wise. I wonder if I did this right. I'm sure there was some level of redundancy I could have reduced for my efforts. This is, this is what we're working with right now. And we might as well call it a day. And I think, for the terrace or rooftop, the only thing I would probably end up doing is put another set of the cobblestone walls for aesthetics. I only have a few more, it looks like, but no, actually I have more than enough. Right. So how would that look? Is that too much? Not too bad. There we go. And also what we'll do, hopefully to keep a lot of those spiders away too, is kind of place, if I can get on top of the wall somehow. Something like that. Oh, okay. It seems I've slightly missed by about 2 slabs. All right, and that actually brings us to the end of today's episode. So, unfortunately, most of it was. Oh, gotta fix this immediately. I mean, most of it was just housing repairs, unfortunately. But again, a few nice additions to the house, obviously. Um, I mean, we certainly acquired a nicer looking house with a terrace, right? A ladder to get up there. And again, I'm sure a lot of enemies can do just the same thing that I've been doing, getting up and down. So eventually, at some point, maybe have some provisions in place for them to not easily do that. And again, I think the best thing is to be able to have that iron golem at some point, or a couple. But obviously, that'll take time. So, anyways, as always, thank you for tuning in. And maybe in the next episode, we will look at some non-house repair stuff. So I know for sure I'm probably gonna end up going back down to that underground tunnel to get some more iron ore, or if I can get my hands on some more rare items, that would probably be great. So more to come on that soon. See you next time.